At the current time, I'm teaching Intro to Geography and Physical Geography online, but I may be offering other classes in the future. And the tutorial that I'm talking about here is going to follow the same general tenor. You can see this is what my online course looks like. I've got some announcements right here. This talks about all of the different announcements that we're going to have, what's going on in class. Under exams, you might see something like examinations and tests. I've got my Introduction to Geography midterm exam ready to go. In order to take an exam, they're going to be open during a specific time period. This time period is typically going to be 2 to 3 days. Also, all my exams, all my online classes, and even all of my offline classes, the exams are going to be open note and open book, but they're going to be timed. Typically, I offer a minute and a half to 2 minutes per question. So for a 50-question exam, I'll probably offer about 90 minutes to take the exam. Okay? A lot of people think open note and open resource exams are good, but if you need to spend the 90 minutes learning the material the first time, it's going to be really, that 90 minutes is going to go by very, very quickly. So I would strongly suggest knowing where to get the material, how to get the material, and going over all the previous assignments because you might have seen them in one form or the other. Okay? I always have a lot of concerns about people not having enough time to take the exam because they're going through and learning the material the first time they open it. And that's kind of how I troubleshoot a lot of my exams. Having timed exams, anyone can do a timed exam if you have enough time. But really, material recall is going to be really helpful in jobs in the future where there's going to be some time issues involved. And you can see what I have here. This is my Introduction to Geography exam. Also, with online courses, it's very important that you follow directions. Just because you don't have to go to a regular course meeting on a regular basis doesn't mean you don't have to follow directions. So looking at the directions here for this geography exam, this is the Introduction to Geography exam. Be sure to reference the midterm map. This is this file right here for the first part of the exam. Open up this file before you open up the exam so you can answer the first 15 questions. For my physical geography courses, you're not going to have a map to open up, so you can just go straight to the exam. All questions are 2 points each unless otherwise noted. You'll have 90 minutes to take the exam. You can use any resource you wish, but the exam can only be opened and taken once. So if you have something going on in an hour, you can't stop the exam like we can with our assignments and save and then submit them later. So you need a 90-minute period in which you have to take this exam. It also said here, open up the midterm map. So here I'll open this exam, this map in a new tab. And this is the map. If you really wanted to, I'd strongly suggest printing this out early, labeling all the countries here. So these are things that you can do without kind of getting into that 90-minute time that we have to take the exam. Okay. So when I go here, I can just click on the Introduction to Geography exam. This is a timed exam. You'll have a time limit of 1 hour and 30 minutes. The test will save and submit automatically. Okay, so once you close it, it's going to be submitted. Okay, so if you haven't done half the questions, those will be graded as incorrect. Once started, the test must be completed in one sitting. Do not leave the test open before clicking Save and Submit. At the end of the 90 minutes, it will be submitted. If you've answered 50 or if you've answered 0 of them, but I'd strongly suggest you submitting those on your own terms. And you're ready to begin, you click on Start. And here's the start of my exam right here. And you can see what I have here. Okay, I go through the answers right here. Okay, and for my Introduction to Geography, for the Introduction to Geography classes, I have to reference this map. So for question 1, it says, what letter is the United States? Oh, you can see here that it's B, and I'll go through and grade that later. Okay. Let's see, I can go to some other questions here. The country formerly known as Zaire. I might not know this one. Ireland, I know. Oh, the country with the most number of Muslims living in it. Let's see, I've got India here. I've got Indonesia. This is Iran. This is Egypt. I think it's Indonesia. Okay, it actually is. So, okay, and I'll go through what country is Indonesia. That's P. So I'll put the letter P right here. And if I want to, I can click on Save My Answer. Okay. And when I'm done, I can go through and submit it. And those are for the first 15 questions of my Introduction to Geography class. If you're taking my Physical Geography class, they're all going to be straight up multiple choice. for essay questions. And then once we get to this one here, the word spatial refers to, I can answer one of these here. Relative to the human fundamental themes of geography proposed by the Association of American Geographers, latitude and longitude refers to one of these things. Okay, and I can go through and click these. These answers aren't correct here, or they may be correct, may not be. Okay, I've got a couple references to some maps right here. Okay, what is this trying to show? This is for my introduction to midterm class. These are all multiple choice. And then finally, once I get down to the bottom here, I have an essay. Okay, and be sure to follow the directions for the essay. Okay, my directions for essay in both my introduction to geography and other online courses is that you don't need to put a big paragraph, but you need to put enough so that you let me know that you know what you're talking about. It's very important here. We need spelling, punctuation, complete and articulate thoughts, so you can let me know that you know what you're talking about. If you think you can do that in one sentence, that's great. Okay, I strongly suggest putting together probably 5 or 6 sentences, and make sure you answer all the questions. Okay, what is the core? What is the periphery? Okay, how are these differentiated between the core and the periphery? Talk about one of these metrics. Okay, I have a lot of essays people only answer one of these questions. Or if I answer for similarities and differences, they'll answer something about the core, something about the periphery, and assume that I'll just make those logical conclusions. You let me know what the differences are or the similarities are for any of these exams. Okay? And finally, when you're ready to submit, you can click on Save and Submit. When you submit it, it probably won't give you a complete grade because I have to go through and grade the essays and the short answers up at the top of what you answered about your questions. If you're taking my physical class or my other classes, I'm still going to have to answer some short answers, so disregard any grades that are given to you.